Good morning, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt with Illinois WorkNet. I have Olivia Grisham on the call with me, and we have a number of you in the call already. So we don't have a whole ton to talk about today, but let's get rolling. So Olivia, would you like to share your screen and talk about the dashboard?
I sure would. Let me get it pulled up really quick. All righty. All righty. I hope you all are having a great Friday morning so far. We're going to quickly run through the intake dashboard and the enrolled dashboard as well. So the first part we have here is our intake dashboard. And mainly we're going to be focusing on the rows that are in yellow and making sure those rows stay cleaned up and we're not getting customers lost in there. So one of the first rows we have to keep an eye on is this incomplete application older than 24 hours. It looks like we only have 2 customers in there. That is awesome. Good number, very low. And then we also have this ready for review by DHS caseworker. It looks like we have 7 customers who have completed the application and had to leave for some reason and were not able to complete the eligibility review portion of EPIC. So we just need to make sure we're getting those customers coming back in and having them complete eligibility review, or maybe they have declined to participate. So we just need to get them marked properly so they can either move to a green or red section of this dashboard. And then down here we have needs to be scheduled for consent 15 and missed consent meeting 4. So these are our customers who have went through eligibility review but had to leave for some reason and were not able to complete the random assignment consent portion of EPIC. So we need to make sure these people are getting scheduled to come back in so they can complete this random assignment portion, and we can determine if they've been placed in EPIC or in SNAP, and then they can either move to the red or green section of that area of the dashboard. And that is all that we have on the intake dashboard for you guys to keep an eye on. It's really cleaned up. It looks really good. We just have a couple people that need moved, but these are people that have probably already scheduled to come back in to get that cleaned up and moved on. So then the next dashboard we're going to look at is the intake projection dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here, and we're going to look at the statewide projection numbers. So you can see that every month our numbers are climbing, and that's good. We're not quite to the blue line yet. We really need to keep working hard, and we'll get closer. Well, it looks like we're actually starting to get kind of further away, so we need to really make sure we're getting customers into intakes and getting them properly assigned to good CBOs that are going to be able to work with them and get them the services that they need. But if you scroll down further here, you can see that we have monthly targets set in place that we need to meet in order to meet our goal. And it looks like in the month of November and December, we did meet that goal. We were looking at getting 214 in November, and we got 414. December, 214, and we got 331 customers in. So January and February, our numbers kind of go back up. Due to the holidays, we had less customers we had to get in. So now we need to randomly assign 463 customers a month to be getting us back on track on that goal. It looked like in January we did 372 customers that were just went through the intake process in EPIC and were randomly assigned to one of the 2 controller treatment groups. And so for February we need to do 463. It looks like we're at 151 right now. So we just need to make sure that we continue to work hard through the rest of this month and get as close to that number as we can. Do you guys have any questions about the intake projections? All righty.
One thing that they can do is go back to that intake dashboard and re-invite those people back that maybe missed some of those appointments. That would be an easy 25 people right there. So check that dashboard.
Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and go on to the enrolled dashboard. Alrighty. So there's only a couple rows on here that we really need to keep an eye on. The first is referral pending note to contact from customer, recommend conciliation. So we have 139 customers that need to go through the conciliation process with DHS. So we need to make sure that we are getting these customers put through the conciliation process as quickly as possible. One, that way we can get them re-engaged quickly and they try to get them back to the CBO and show up to that appointment so then they can work with that CBO to complete the EPIC program. And then the other section is the referral rejected. It looks like we have 5 customers who were assigned to a CBO and were rejected for various reasons. We don't allow the CBOs to just reject a customer because they want to. They have to have a really, really good reason why the customer is being rejected. So these customers will come back to you, and the case note will say the reason why the customer was rejected. It could have been to them not being able to pass required tests. The customer could have asked to be reassigned because they decided they wanted to go into another training program. Distance could be another issue. So we just need to look at those case notes and see what's going on with that customer and then try to reassign them to a training program that will be better fitted for what they're looking for. And then if we scroll down towards the bottom, you'll see there is a DHS review recommend sanction. We have 43 customers here. These are the customers that have went through the conciliation process with their CBO, and they either did not show up to that conciliation or did not agree to the terms that the CBO set in place, and therefore they are being recommended for sanction and need to go back to DHS for that. So do you guys have any questions on anything on the enrolled dashboard?
On the recommend sanction, we need to make sure that we're marking the customer case file if they are sanctioned so that the CBO does not continue to provide services for them. So that's critical that you guys track that, well, all of these items, because we just need to stay on top of this so that we're not expending funds on somebody that might be ineligible.
Alrighty, and that is all I have to go over for the dashboards with you guys today. So if you don't have any questions, we will go ahead and move forward in our agenda.
All right. There is one thing that I wanted to show you guys, but it's not showing up on test yet. Our programmer is putting together a filter that will show up on the customer search results, so that if you pick region 1, you will be able to filter by local office. So we're going to test that today, and hopefully we can push it out tonight, overnight, so that that will be available when you come back to the office on Tuesday, because all y'all have a holiday on Monday, right? Or do you? Can somebody tell me in the chat pod? All right. So we do have, you guys have a holiday on Monday. Somebody's smiling about that one. All right. Okay. So I'm not going to show you that because it's not showing up in test yet, but it will be in that top filter section where if you pick region 1, then the line item local office will pop up, so that you can filter by Edgelawn, Rose Delay, I don't know all of you guys, Woodlawn, all of those different littler offices, the feeders, as well as just filter out just the Mid-South customers that were related to you. And there will be a column in the export list that has that local office. All right. The next meeting, we're going to start going to every other Friday. So please note that in your calendars. If there is a special issue that comes up, we will alert Deidre, who can alert staff. But we will be going to every other Friday. So our next meeting after today will be on February 24th. So we will put that in the follow-up minutes, but please note that on your calendars and let your staff know the appropriate, let your appropriate staff know the answer to that. All right, so we've got a couple of poll questions for you today. And if you have anything that you need to talk to us about, please mark that in the pod below here. But what we want you to do, and we're not going to broadcast the results yet, is we want to know what you guys know about how to make a good, I can't get this right in the right place here, Olivia. What do you guys know about eligibility review? That's what this all boils down to, is we want to make sure that we're making the best referrals to the CBOs that we can so that these customers will produce and become productive members in society. So let's know. I will broadcast the results when we're done, but I want you guys to take a few minutes. We've got 29 people on the call right now, so I should see at least 25 answers on here. Okay. Now, you guys all know that I go by first names. So, A. Wathen, what's your first name? I know you guys go by last name, but, and it's Asher. Hi, Asher. All right, so we're getting some answers here. Oh, I just realized I have a typo in that first answer on the how do you make a good referral for a customer to a CBO program. Bad spell check. So what do you think, Olivia? Are they on track here?
Yeah. Yeah, there's one question I think that we're focusing too much on in determining the training program, but it looks good.
So, Estella, you can answer the questions in the pods. Antoinette, what does B mean? Oh. All right, so now I want you to, let me put another poll question up here. All right, I got another poll question here. Who has a question about the invitation process? If you want to type that into the chat pod, unless you just happen to mark the wrong thing. Those are all minutes. I didn't write minute on each one. I was trying to get the question out quickly. Okay. I'm going to, if you haven't answered, how do you make a good referral for a customer to a CBO program? Answer it really quickly because I'm going to close that poll. All right, now I'm going to broadcast the results. So, Olivia, let's talk about these a little bit. So, the review interest from customer application, where do they find that?
So when the customer fills out their application, it's going to show on their profile tab under application. And you can go through and see the 3 areas of interest they selected for their career pathways. And the distance they'd be willing to travel is also part of those career pathways.
And we've got a few people that checked the customer interest survey results. What's nice about that is in the pods, you can actually have somebody email that to you so that if you want to take a look at their survey results. Okay. And then with the length of training time or the distance to training, it's all important as to whether or not somebody's actually going to show up. And maybe they have some past employment or not, but absolutely, you guys got it pretty much on the nose there with discuss the program with the customers during your one-on-one meeting. And then the next question, I'm going to end this poll, and I'm going to broadcast these results. So what background items could limit a customer's choice for training programs? Now, we have that step 3. And just with a show of hands, how many of you make your customers do that step 3 before they actually show, or before they actually fill out their application? Aurelia, you don't count. All right, so if they have some of these items that show up on their step 3 and they're answering them honestly, it will show what programs are available for them. And if there's not any programs, how many of you, let me clear this. How many of you just refer them on to JPP or to the other mandatory programs in your area? Show of hands. Okay. All right. So good. That's good because you want to don't put them through random assignment if there are no programs for them to be referred to. So if they don't want to take a drug test, just have them go right on. If there's a very strong likelihood that if they're listed on the sexual offender registry, that there are going to be very, very limited programs available for them. So make sure that you see any programs that are available for them below. If they can't pass the required medical test, that's a big one too. For healthcare, they have to have a clean background check. There are all of the programs related to the healthcare industry. You cannot have a smudge on your background. If they can't obtain a license, then they wouldn't be good for a transportation job. Now, some of these things might be their tickets haven't been paid. The CBOs can help them find the resources to help correct those things, but if maybe they can't get a license for some other reason. Doesn't have a high school diploma. They need to be enrolled into a bridge program, so those programs are what's available for them there. And then limited English language skills. We want to make sure that they know the information there. All right, now last poll was how long do you spend with your customers on the one-on-one? And now, did you answer this because of the eligibility review or how long it takes you to do the random assignment? It's going to be a little bit longer when you go with a random assignment, but the eligibility review should probably take you at minimum 10 minutes. At minimum 10 minutes. Probably closer to the 20 minutes that many of you wrote down or marked on your answers. So, all righty, everybody, that's what we've got right now for today. So remember that our next session will be on February 24th. If you didn't get a chance to check in already, please do that now so that we get everybody before the end of the call. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great day off on Monday to memorialize Lincoln's birthday. And happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Watch for the update that should be out when you come in on Monday for the ability to select by individual local office. We'll try and send out a little screenshot of that with some directions. All right. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everybody.